The Titanic conspiracy theories no one talks about. What if the Titanic never sank? Or worse, what if its sinking was no accident at all? While most of us know the tragic story of the unsinkable ship that met a frozen fate in 1912, few have heard the darkest, most shocking conspiracy theories lurking beneath the surface. From insurance fraud to secret government experiments, the truth about the Titanic might be far stranger than fiction. Buckle up, we're diving deep into the iceberg's shadow. Introduction. A disaster shrouded in mystery, the RMS Titanic was the crown jewel of the White Star Line. It's a marvel of engineering that promised luxury and safety. Yet, on April 15, 1912, it struck an iceberg and sank, taking over 1,500 lives with it. Officially, the tragedy was blamed on human error, excessive speed, and insufficient lifeboats. But what if there's more to the story? For over a century, conspiracy theorists have questioned the official narrative, uncovering bizarre coincidences, suspicious cover-ups, and eerie anomalies. Some believe the Titanic's sinking was no accident, but a carefully orchestrated scheme. Others think the ship that sank wasn't even the real Titanic. Let's explore the most chilling Titanic conspiracy theories that history books refuse to acknowledge. 1. The Titanic was swapped with its sister ship. The theory. The most explosive conspiracy claims that the Titanic never sank instead. It was its nearly identical sister ship, the RMS Olympic, that went down in a massive insurance scam. The evidence. The Olympic had been severely damaged in a collision in 1911, costing White Star Line a fortune in repairs. Insurance policies for the Titanic were suspiciously high. Was it a deliberate ploy to sink a worthless ship for profit? Survivors reported differences in the ship's layout, like porthole placements and deck designs, suggesting it wasn't the Titanic. The ship's name was allegedly covered up during the voyage, with workers ordered to stamp Titanic over Olympic. The big question. If true, this would mean the Titanic disaster was premeditated corporate murder, sacrificing thousands for financial gain. 2. J.P. Morgan's last-minute cancellation, the theory. Banking tycoon J.P. Morgan, who financed the Titanic's construction, was supposed to be on board but canceled last minute. So did several other wealthy critics of the Federal Reserve, which was being established at the time. It's the evidence. 3 prominent anti-Federal Reserve bankers, Benjamin Guggenheim, Theodore Strauss, and John Jacob Astor IV, died in the sinking. Morgan held a secret meeting in France just before the voyage, was he warned. Conspiracy theorists argued that the Titanic was sabotaged to eliminate opposition to the Federal Reserve Act. The big question, was the Titanic a political assassination disguised as a maritime disaster? 3. The missing binoculars and the mysterious iceberg, the theory. The iceberg collision could have been avoided, not for a series of suspicious oversights, the evidence. The ship's binoculars were locked away, and the key was held by an officer who was reassigned last minute. The Californian, a nearby ship, saw the Titanic's distress signals but ignored them. Why? Some believe the iceberg was deliberately steered into as part of the sinking plan. The big question, were the crew set up to fail? 4. The Titanic was cursed, the theory. Some believe supernatural forces doomed the Titanic, including an ancient Egyptian curse. It's the evidence. A mummy's coffin was rumored to be in the cargo hold. The ship's designer, Thomas Andrews, reportedly had nightmares of the Titanic sinking before it happened. Survivors reported eerie premonitions and ghostly visions before the disaster. The big question, was the Titanic doomed by something beyond human control? 5. The Titanic was sunk by a German U-boat, the theory. Decades before WW1 officially began. Some believe a German submarine torpedoed the Titanic to destabilize British-American relations. The evidence. Survivors reported explosions before the ship sank. Was it just the boilers, or something more? Germany had advanced U-boats even in 1912, if true. This would mean the Titanic's sinking was an early act of war. Conclusion. Why don't we talk about these theories? The Titanic's sinking remains one of history's greatest tragedies, but was it also one of its greatest conspiracies? From corporate fraud to political assassinations, the truth may be buried deeper than the wreck itself. Why don't mainstream historians discuss these theories? Because they challenge powerful institutions, banks, governments, and billion-dollar corporations. If even one of these conspiracies is true, it rewrites history. So, the next time you hear about the Titanic, ask yourself, what are they not telling us? The Titanic didn't just sink it, took its secrets to the bottom of the ocean, but the truth has a way of resurfacing. Would you like a deeper dive into any of these theories? Let me know in the comments.